Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that freaking bottom.
Hello everyone, and my name is Josh, and this is my clothing channel, I guess. It used to be my gaming channel, but I changed it up a bit. Today I'm going to tell you a story. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you three. Today I want to talk to you about Roscoe's Dogs, Genius, and Pearl Productions. You know, every great charity has an amazing backstory to it. Some stories are happy, and others are on the sadder side. And so today I'm going to tell you all three of the backstories of Roscoe's Dogs, Genius, and Pearl Productions. Roscoe's Dogs is a charity that I named after my dog Roscoe. This is my dog Roscoe, or should I say, was my dog Roscoe. Roscoe was a 13-year-old miniature schnauzer that I got from my mom. His parents were my mom's dogs. This is Roscoe today. I know, super sad, right? Roscoe died in this past February. He was born with a cyst in his stomach, and the position of the cyst just made it difficult to get to when he was a puppy. And so, you know, the vet said that there wasn't going to be any problems, and so it just kind of got to a point where the cyst grew too big for his stomach, and he could no longer live a pain-free life. So February 25th, I had to make the decision to euthanize my dog. No amount of preparedness, I guess is the word, can prepare you for what it actually is to put a dog down, to euthanize a dog, or any pet for that matter. You know, I loved Roscoe. Roscoe was my kid, and I know that sounds cliche, and a lot of people say that, but as a man who doesn't want kids, you know, Roscoe filled that need. You know, so I loved him. I could not have loved another animal better. I mean, I loved him more than most people. And so to let him go was just, it was really heartbreaking. I'd never cried so hard in my life, you know, and when I had to go to the vet to put him down, the first thing that came to my mind was, how am I going to pay for this? You know, I mean, I had no idea how much all this was going to cost. The vet called me back and was like, you know, there's not much we can do. You know, you could do exploratory surgery, but that would cost several $1,000s, and then the cyst will just grow back in 6 months anyways. So really, the exploratory surgery just wasn't an option, really, you know. So like I said, I made the decision. So I had no idea how much any of this was going to cost. You know, it's not like they post flyers or have a bulletin board, we kill your dog for this much. You know, like there's no pricing anywhere. So I had no idea how much this was going to cost, and I was sitting in the room and waiting for them to bring my dog in, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how much is this going to cost? And before they bring your dog in, they want you to pay to put him, to euthanize him, to the whole thing. They want you to pay for the whole thing. And before they bring him in, before you get to say your goodbyes, they want you to pay for it all. And I get it, you know, you don't want to handle that kind of stuff after, especially with how much I was crying and snot. It was just disgusting. So I get it. And so they gave me the total, and it cost $700. $700 to euthanize your dog. And I was just blown away by that. You know, like, what if I didn't have the $700? What would I do? You know, what happens to a dog if you can't pay $700 to euthanize him? So anyways, back to the story, I was sitting there, and I wanted to know what happens to your dog if you can't pay to euthanize him. So I asked them, and what they told me was unbelievable. I can't believe people do this, but I guess if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. But they said that you give your dog to the pound, and they kill your dog pretty much, and you don't get to be in the room, you don't get to say goodbye, and you don't get them back. They throw them wherever they kill the dog. They throw them wherever. Now, if you love your dog as much as I loved Roscoe, or any animal, if you love an animal as much as you claim you do, you want that animal back. Whether you want to bury them, spread their ashes, keep them in an urn like I do with Roscoe, you want them back. And the fact that you don't get them back and still have to pay half of what you paid for the $700, it's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And so I created Roscoe's Dogs to pay for this stuff, so that families can get their pets back. So their pets can go back to the most important people that they thought of in this world. And that was you. They loved you because you were their world, and they deserve to go back to you. And so I created Roscoe's Dogs to where we will pay the vet bills of all end-of-life costs. So that's euthanizing. We will pay to cremate the body. We will pay to get the urn. We will buy an urn for you, and make sure that it all gets back to you, and create a nice little presentation. And whatever you decide to do with it afterwards is your business. If you want to bury your pet or dog, if you want to keep them like I do, whatever you decide to do, that's your business. But you shouldn't have to worry about paying for the end-of-life costs that come with owning a pet. Because, at the end of the day, this pet may be a small part of your world, but to a pet, you are their world. And there's no place they'd rather be than back with you. So surrendering your pet is just, it's unacceptable to me. That's it. Roscoe here paved the way for this charity. It's a charity that I completely believe in 100%, and will do whatever I can to make it happen. Just because that's how much love I had for Roscoe. So, yeah. To help generate money for the charity, I went ahead and created some Roscoe's Dogs products that you can purchase at any time. And 100% of the money goes into a Roscoe's Dogs Foundation fund that will help as many pets as I can. Please consider buying some products, donate if you can, and thank you so much. Alright, well, enough of that sad shit. The next charity I'm going to talk to you about is Pearl Productions. Pearl Productions is named after my niece, Layla Pearl Cox. She's adorable, she's a sweetheart, and I love her to death. At a really young age, she decided she wanted to learn how to draw and art and do these fun things. And so my sister, her mom, enrolled her in an art school, and some of the work she's doing is amazing, especially for a 4, 5, and 6-year-old. It's unbelievable what she can do. And she showed me this picture, and I thought, I wonder if I could duplicate it and see if I could put that on a shirt for her, do something special for her. And so that's what I did. I recreated it and put it on a shirt and made it all nice and gave it to her, and she was thrilled. She was over the moon for it. So that's when I kind of got the idea that I wanted to do something for kids. I kind of believe that kids kind of get overlooked. They kind of aren't taken very seriously because they're kids, and I get it. You're a kid. Like, you're not gonna take a kid very seriously. But kids have. You ever seen that show? What is that show called? Kids Say the Darndest Things. Well, kids can draw amazing things. Kids are hilarious. They can do a ton of stuff. And as adults, we just kind of ignore it and don't see it for what it is. And so I decided that I wanted to do more with that. So I want to take kids' art and redesign it and put it on mugs and shirts and tumblers and resell it. And then I want to take that money and I want to put it back into art schools so that kids who want to learn art but can't afford the art class can still get to go on this Pearl Production scholarship. So they would get to go to art school so that they can do the same things that Layla is able to, because my sister takes such great care of her and gives her everything she can want, but not every parent has the ability to do that. And so with a little help from us, they'll be able to give their child all the art that they can handle. So consider buying a Pearl Productions products. If you have art, kids art, that you would like me to redesign and put on a product and sell, please submit it at joshuamarchand.com. I would love to see it. And if I feel like I can do something with it, I will redesign it and we will sell it and help a ton of kids. If drawing and coloring and doing all those fun things is a dream for you, then Pearl Productions can help you. We want to get this going. This is a charity that I believe in. This is a charity I want to take very far. So buy some products. I don't know how to end this. Yeah, anyways, moving on. The last charity I want to talk to you about is a charity called Genius. It's a cancer-related charity, and that I'm doing after my father. My father was diagnosed with 2 different types of cancer, colorectal cancer and thyroid cancer. And he was diagnosed with them at the same time. And he fought them both, and he survived. And so now we want to give back a little bit. You know, when someone is diagnosed with cancer, you kind of just think, oh, you know, that's sad, I'm sorry to hear that. But you don't actually fully grasp how terrible cancer is until you sit in a waiting room filled with cancer patients. I mean, the treatment that they give you, the chemo and the radiation, I mean, it is terrible. The people in the waiting room are just so sick. And so, you know, we want to help to avoid that. And we found out that there's a test. You can test to see what kind of cancer you may or may not get by testing your genes, your DNA. And so we want to create a charity that will help pay for this test so that everyone can get tested and see, just to be prepared for what kind of cancer they may or may not get. You know, we've heard a bunch of stories about this saving a ton of lives, and this is something we want to move forward with. So Genius, my idea, came up with, is the name we came up for this charity. This charity is a little bit further down the road. I want to get Roscoe's Dogs and Pearl Productions off the ground before I start doing Genius, but it is going to happen. All 3 of these charities are going to happen, and with your help, that could be that much easier for me to get going. So please consider buying some products, donate if you can, and thank you so much for watching.